Today is the day that we are waiting for a long time. Happy Mother's Day. Not this April, 2 years ago. That April was pretty warm. And sometimes, you feel like when you are in April, you feel like you are already in summer, sort of. Right? So then I tried to plan things out. They did not come out. Especially I planned chili and they did not come out. I was wondering what happened, something wrong with my seed. Sometimes I was like suspecting those squirrels, maybe squirrels or chipmunks, they might stealing my seed or what. So then later on I realized it's too cold, especially maybe underneath maybe the ground is cold. Then I realized I should not try to plant anything out in April. Have to wait. So big mistake, right? Last year I did well, and then this year in winter, I met an old woman in a store, and she was buying some gardening tools. Maybe 2-3 months ago, and then I asked her, when can I plant those things outside? And she said, wait until Mother's Day. After that, you can do it. Okay, so that's why I was waiting for that day. So I don't know how related these things, but it's very interesting, right? Planting things outside. Inside is very different story. Nothing has to do with time, I think. But outside. And like being a mother is very similar things. So when you take care of a small plant, you feel like you are mother of those little plants. You check them every day. You water them, right? Not every day. It's dependent on the plant. Surely if it's orchid, don't do it, right? So then especially when you have a tiny those germinated things, I realize that is like that makes us to be like really mother. Like you have to be careful in those tiny things. Even sometimes you have to give them only few drops there, right? No more than that. Gardening and being a mother is very similar things. You should care about things what you are growing. You should constantly observe, right? You cannot ignore those things for a few days or sometimes. I did that a lot when I was in India. I like flowers. Somehow, I like those plants. I don't know where I got it, right? But sometimes I like to collect the seed and I try to plant them. And sometimes they come out really well when I was lucky. Meaning is there's a rainfall on the time. Then sometimes I leave them outside and I forget there is a plant that I'm looking for. Then when I look back, it's totally dried up. Then if I forget few weeks, that's enough to destroy everything. Even though I don't have to talk about mother every time on Mother's Day, but this time I like to talk about it. There are, many different kind of mothers, very many different. Sometimes we have like a common image of mother. Mother means only one thing, and then that should be like very perfect as you think. It is not. All mothers are very different. Some of them are very sweet, like talk nicely. You never see a moment they got upset. And some of them are very social. They invite everybody at home, right? They feed all kind of people. And then some are like very faithful, trusted in people. And then, Some of them are very quiet, doesn't talk that much. There's some of them are very talkative, keep talking all the time, all the time, you know. And then some of them are very smart, like knowing everything, what to do, what's happening. And some of them are like very ambitious. Your mother wants you to fly in airplane and jump from like 3,000 feet. Sort of like, some mothers are like that, themselves. Hard worker, want to be like always topper or top. Then some of them are like different. They are like slow. They are not that smart. They doesn't even the people are like looking down on them. People are like criticizing her. She's still not aware of this. She's thinking those people are nice to me. Sometimes people are like being a slow is not bad thing. When I was kid, I'm surrounded with many teachers. All my teachers are not all, I'm sorry, but many of them are like little bit ambitious in different way. They don't want me to go fly all the way up and jump down. They don't want, but they want me to become like the best educated person, sort of. They want me to be like smartest person, people in my class, sort of. And then and in downside, in the other students who are slow, right, and they feel like there is something wrong there. When I think carefully later on, people are different by genetic. They have different physical body. They have a different capable. So if someone is very smart, that doesn't mean that that person is good person or doing well. If someone is not that smart, it doesn't mean that that person is incapable or something wrong in there. That is very genetic. It's like your body size. Some of you are tall, some of you are short. Really different. Some mothers, they have short temper, opposite of sweet. They get upset immediately for tiny things. They yell you immediately. Even you put your shoes a little crooked at the door, right? They say, "What happened there?" Right? Then if you don't close your door, I remember a woman, when I don't close my door, she is saying that, "Are you living in the bar?" or something like that, right? So it's so funny, right? And then I start to close the door all the time. When I get in, I close the door, and then she was happy. That was my English teacher. And then I went back to monastery. Then it comes in my habit. Then I close the door. Then my teacher scold me. "Are you stealing or something? Why always close the door after you come in? Why? If someone's chasing you or what?" Anyway, they are like, and they are selfish mother. They are. And they are jealous mother. Right? If nobody is perfect, you are not perfect. How can your mother should be perfect all the time? And then they are bossy one, who always order you instead of even sometimes you feel like they are ordering you to swallow the food, right? Eat it, swallow it, all right, drink it, make it empty, or stand up, sit down, right? And it's this kind of bossy things there. All these are different mothers we have. When I think about this different mother, and then I was trying to understand, meaning is try to recall something that mentioned in Dharma teaching, or they're related to Dharma teaching. then always, I remember Malariba's mother. I look back what last year Mother's Day, I mentioned a little bit about Malariba's mother. Then I thought I should, tell sort of whole story here. And Malariba's mother, if you don't know who is Malariba is a great Tibetan yogi who dedicate whole life to live in a remote place and dedicate whole life to do meditation, right? Then his mother was very like a fighter, right? The fighter meaning is like they could not take any small things. If someone says something to them, they wanna say it back. If someone treat them bad, they want do something like revenger. And then she is also hateful and very smart. So Malariba, when he was kid, right, they lost their father very earlier time, and he and his sister, then mother were treated not unfair by their aunt and her husband. And because of that, she want people to support them to fight with her, aunt. And that is the right thing to do. And then the people are like people, when I say people are like people, sometimes, people are not honest. And they tend to take a side with who has money and power. Right? That's what I'm saying. People are people. Then they look at Malariba's mother. She is like a weak woman, and she has no husband, and her kids are like still kid. Then look at her component is a rich woman and has whole wealth. Then the people start to take a side with her, the Malariba's aunt, and then she got upset. Then she wanted Malariba to do black magic. Then she sent him to learn black magic and to take revenge. Right. So that's like a mother's story, and that is hateful, and like sometimes maybe she is in bad situation. Maybe many people will do that if in that situation. I'm not trying to prove she is bad, but I'm trying to tell you their story. This is a story of the world of imperfections, right? So then she sent him to do it. Then he learned how to do the black magic. He did it. Even I don't know he really did it or something happened. Their aunt's new house collapsed and people died there. Right? In a story, Malariba did black magic, and because of black magic, their house fall down during the ceremony there. Maybe a big, I don't know. I don't think it's earthquake. So anyway, then after that, what happened is she was trading. She told people that is happened because of my son. And then after that, people get more upset of her, right? That's the one thing. And then she realized that. Then because of that, she feel more hateful of people. And then she wrote a letter to Malariba, and that's the story, right? She wrote letter to Malariba in the one traveler yogi, right? While Malariba was with his black magic teacher, right? And then there comes a traveler yogi. The traveler yogi is like in Tibet, they are like, many different kind of practitioners. That some of them don't stay in one place. looks very crazy. In your eyes, their minds looks like totally, kind of, mad homeless or something like that. And they are traveling. And if you talk with them, and then you might know, these are not crazy people. So one that kind of traveler practitioner, yogi, then are looking for Malariva and found the Malariva. And then he, he told Malariva, I met your mother. Your mother sent me this letter. And I spent their time in your house, and they are doing well. Right? Then Malariva read the, letter. And, in the letter, what his mother was saying is, I'm so happy for your black magic result. But still, people hate us. They wish, I want you to do another, revenge thing. I want you to bring a 9-level hell. Meaning it's like very strong hell. And that is like, harvest time. I want to, destroy their farm. And that is my final wish. Then that is very right, hateful message sending to her own kid. Then she is in pain, I think. And then people are not understanding true situation, how to, solve the problem. The hatred will never solve the problem, right? That's her later point. But not only that, she said that people may want to kill you than me. Be careful, right? And that is the mother's message, giving him warning, right? So she cares about Malariva. Then not only that, she said that if you don't have enough food, there's a source. Okay, what's that, right? There are poor people. There's source. She said, there's a place that faces north, right? And under that, above that place, there's a black, like dark cloud. And there are 6 stars, right? She gives the riddle, 6 stars. Under those clouds and 6 stars, there are like 7 villages of ours that you can get enough food from there. He read it. He was so right, confused. What? Do we have 7 villages to get food from there? In Tibet, when they say we have 7 village, means we can get tax from 7 village. Sort of, that's like big source. Then then at the end she said, if you don't find it, don't ask anybody. That yogi is living in that place. Do you not get it? It's riddle. Right? Riddle. Okay, then. But he did not know it's riddle. He was thinking, oh, that must be some places. Then he could not understand. Then he said, okay, I take that letter to my teacher, and then I come back. Then he went to show letter to his teacher. Teacher even did not get it. Then his teacher showed it to his wife, the teacher's wife. Then she read it. Then she said, then she said, we should invite that, yogi at home. Right? They invite the yogi at home, right? Then, that yogi has a big coat in his back, the sort of rain coat, sort of like big coat. And that's their maybe everything. Maybe when they sleep, they wear it as blanket. When they're traveling, they wear it as raincoat. Or then she said, "Oh, that looks so good." Then she just borrow it. Then he take it up and downstairs. Then after he left, then she gave Malariva 7 gold coin. Then these are yours. Then he said, "How did I get gold coin? I have not enough Even I have no money to, pay my own food here. Then she said, no, his mother sent riddles. Then his mother, right, says like, place that face north, and that is his, the court, because inside of court never get the sunlight, so that is like facing north, right? Then when that yogi was at her house, and she fixed it, so then she put a big patch, black patch there, and that is the black cloud. Then she teach 7, stitched white with white thread there. Then that's 6, and that is like 6 stars. Then under that there's 7 gold coin there, right? So then is his teacher, let's say your mother is very smart, very clever, but very hateful. Like then that's like smartness of woman. Even his teacher did not get it, so his teacher's wife can get it, right? And then his mother did it. So in that one, right, what I was interested is when his mother was very like angry and get upset, is still in the letter, right, she was giving a warning for her own child and sending gold and to get food with using like the toughest level of high intelligence, and that is like the oldest story. But what we learn is like the compassion part is always in there, right? So then another type of mother in Malariba's life is the wife of his, not this one, the wife of his, the main teacher who teach him Dharma, Lama Marba's wife. And that is second kind of his mother, right? And that what she did. She was different woman. She was very kind and very like, compassionate woman, and then she provide food for Malariba and cares and always worrying about him. She was thinking, my husband is very brutal to my, that I don't think she said my, son. She said that, young kid. Always, caring. And even, she end up to steal Lama Marba's, stuff to, give to Malariba to get teachings. Like, So that is like, act of mother, another way, right? So she was very compassionate. She could not see Malariba get that much torture sort of from his teacher to get Dharma. And then finally she write the fact letter to Lama Marba's student to teach Malariba Dharma. So and both are for Malariba, both are he treat them as his mother. In many Malariba's prayers, he mentioned a lot of the Lama Marba's wife there many times. So in that story, right, even a hateful woman, or like even like very like a woman that is not the, how do you say it, the mother that who give you birth, is still these two are like a mother for Malariba. So why these in deeply both of them cares? They cares. They are like nurturing Malariba. So at this point, then like I could not say 100%, but 90% of mothers are in same. They are very compassionate of their own children. And that way, His Holiness teaching, he keeps saying that our own mother is resource of our own compassion. I don't mean that it's because of her. I don't think he mean that it's because of the genetic. Then why not father, right? It's not talking about DNA thing. It's talking about she teach you how to care, how to love, how to give unconditional love to someone. There are different mothers. Some of them are I think most of them might have the mental issues there, right? So and then they even don't know who is their kid. Even they don't care who is their kid. I saw some women, they throw their kid after born in the garbage or somewhere. If you want to throw, there's a lot of good place to throw. But some people are little bit immature. I don't know what to call it. But there are, even in animals, they are there, something like that. And then some animals, they are wrestling with compassion and wisdom or something like that. I heard that some eagle, when they have 3 baby, if one baby is not doing well, in order to save 2, they might get rid of other one, right? That doesn't mean that she doesn't have compassion. They are using the wisdom in there. Okay, if I take care of 3, then I could not. Then maybe better to take care of 2 and get rid of other one. Especially among your mother who cares you, who foster you. These are very important. Very important. The genetics are like that. They're turtle's mother. They never see their mother, sort of, right? And then think about cuckoo's mother, right? The cuckoo is a bird, and that fostered by another bird. The cuckoo's mothers are like that. They go to other, bird's nest and lay the egg there, run away, right? And then for a cuckoo, baby cuckoo, who is more important? Who lay the egg there or who feed that cuckoo, right? We can say it clearly. Then another bird, it could be a crow, it could be a robin or small other birds. They're feeding that in a baby cook. I have seen that. Sometimes it's so kind of how to say, very touchy. Like a tiny bird is trying to feed a big baby bird that is not their own baby. And they are feeding that baby as their own baby, really carefully. And sometimes, I was wondering, how can that small bird can feed that big, baby, right there? I did not see the small one feed big one, but I saw the crows are feeding the cuckoo's baby. I was like, wow. And that is, the real mother. Some people are very, how to say, conservative or orthodox, they care so much about where's the bloodline. If you think traditional way, right, your blood is from that, someone, some person, in practical, it's not that important, right? It's not that important. Then you should, go further, if where blood come from, then where blood come from, somewhere you have no idea. Honestly, people are wondering where we come from, this planet or different planet. Sometime, if you look deeply on your own body, you can also produce a lot of others there. Right, like when you're a kid, you have leash there, these are your baby then, right? So that's a blood sort of things. And then I don't know how to say that, the so strange things, like things, um, when you look at those small insects, they are being born from many different things. Like when we practice the bodhicitta, right? Like recognizing mother. What is the next one? Right? Recall their kindness. If there's nothing to call kindness, to recall, then why you should recognize all sentient being as your mother, right? So that's really bind it. It's not about genetic. It's more about fostering, and like then if you have a mother, then you can recall kindness of her, and then there's a way to understand the value of mother. So yeah, so what I was trying to say is, like, some orthodox people, and they prioritize their bloodline, and I'm not saying your bloodline mother who give you birth is not something worthy, but what I'm saying is sometimes we forget who help us, who cares us. They were expecting and treating or being faithful to someone that you have no idea where she is, how she looks like, how she talk. The point is, we should understand both. When we recall all kind of different mothers, uh, one thing similar in mother is compassion. What compassion does? The compassion provide kindness, help someone. Without compassion, nobody will help anybody. And then once you have something to recall kindness of your mother, what can we do for our own mother? That's the biggest question. What we can do for our own mother, right? If your mother is alive, you can do a lot. You can do a lot in many different ways as you can. Even saying good things instead of scolding your mother all the time, right? Some young kids are like very, they are immature. They don't know how it looks like when you are in that age. There's a saying, the person who is sitting at the shore and laughing will not understand the person who was drowning in the water this moment, right? One person is almost dying in the water, right? Another person did not know, and they're just sitting at shore at edge of water and laughing, right? What's happening? So that's the thing. So you cannot understand other people's issue. So especially when your mother is old, you are young, you cannot scold your mother. Like, for example, your mother cannot send a text message. You cannot scold it. Oh, why you cannot do it? It's so easy. Just press that on. Mom, you should open your eyes. Read it, right? It's very possible you can, scold her in that moment. You are young kid or young age person. The another one is different, and they grow up in different environment, different time. So you cannot scold them as you scold to your young kid. If you scold your young kid, maybe okay, he can, uh, in that way, that kid will learn a lot. If your mother is old enough means very old, then you keep scolding. Hi mom, how can you forget water bottle? All right, So like instead of that, say good things. Don't scold, right? Then say good things. Meaning is another one is like you can tell your mother all kind of problems, or you can tell your mother all kind of good things, right? Then be patient. Very important, be patient. Don't say things immediately. When you see sometimes we are a little bit like, rush our time. You want to say immediately. Sometimes you will say things before other person stop their sentence. That's very bad habit we have these days. And then, the best thing is make perfect yourself. I always tell this to my friends all the time. I like my mom. I want to do something. If you want to do something to your mom, perfect yourself. Do you do your well? If you are working, work very well. If you are studying very well. Don't cause problem, and then that will give your mother the most happiness. Many people, they don't understand that one. Just imagine if you are a mother and all your kids are sitting around you and, drinking milk from your breast. Whole year, 10 year, 20 year, 40 year, how you feel? Do you feel happy? No, you feel sad. Oh, look at my kids. They are like still drinking milk. Then if I die, what gonna happen, right? If your kids are like doing well and like standing on their own feet, and then your mother will be happy indeed, even though you are not sitting next to your mother all the time. That's what I'm thinking. So perfect yourself, and then assist your mother, right? Like for gardening, if your mother is doing gardening, help her. You don't have to help her all the time when she need, right? Then sometimes listen to her. Some people need a listener. They want to say something. They don't want, advice or, conclusion. They need somebody to listen to them. Then sometimes when people age, they tell same story again and again and again. I have friends, they told me like one story 10 times. Still they are telling, still I'm trying to listen sometimes. Then some people say, did I tell you that? I said, oh yes, you told me 10 times already. But sometimes listening is helping. Then sometimes you have to talk, right? Many people, especially when they age, they need somebody to talk. Then you can help them to take in the places where they cannot go, right? And then there are a lot of other things. Then, according to Dharma, that you can help your mother to pray, right? How to pray, how to think, there's a lot of way to help your mother in this point. If your mother is passed away, don't feel bad. You missed the opportunity or something. Some people are feeling so bad, when their mother is already passed away. They say, oh, when my mom is alive, I could not do anything. I did her bad. I scold her. I did not spend time with her. Or, I build a lot of stress on her, right? So if you are thinking like that, if you're stuck in that thing, you are wrong. Nobody can go back to change the past unless you have time traveling machine. Nobody has it. Okay. so so even though you have time traveling machine, you might go back there and do same thing. Honestly, right? That is possible. So if your mom is passed away, then if you are living with your husband or wife, if they have their parents, okay, still you can treat well those people, right? And then even though you don't have that thing, your mother is passed away, don't feel bad. You can pray for her. You can pray for her. You can accumulate merit and dedicate it to her. Right? You still can do a lot. And that is, benefit of Buddhism. Nothing is end in one day. Right? Nothing is end in one day. Even in Buddha's own teaching, own history, his mother was passed away after a week after he was born, right? He grew up with his second mother, but he did not forget his own mother. After there's stories that he spent time for his mother to do prayers. And then sometimes they say he went to heaven to teach her. So whatever. So surely you cannot go to heaven to teach her, but you can pray for your own mother. Nothing is end there. You don't have to feel regret for your past. You can still do a lot of things. Right? Then even though you don't believe in this kind of next life or this kind of thing, but it's still think in a different way. When your mother was passed away, it's not like that all mothers are passed away in this world. Still, you can do a lot of things there. Talking too much. And so the point is that we should understand there are many different mothers. Don't create a special mother in your mind. I want thing like every mother should be like that. If someone is not like that, that is bad mother, or something wrong. No, I don't think none of you have 100% perfect. Right? But all of them has what? Compassion. I hope so. Sometimes I am scared to say all of them. Then some people say not all. I don't know, right? But I was thinking most of them, right? Like they loves their kid. So today is Mother's Day. So today is the day of compassion, a day of fostering, day of caregiving for someone. So I will not talk too much now. Yeah. So I will stop here. Thank you very much for listening. I wish we have a very great, nice weather upcoming. And if you are gardening, I hope you have good garden.